From Syracuse and Scarsdale they came, from Buffalo and the Bronx, aboard the afternoon jet to El Paso. To the tourists and businessmen aboard, this flight was just another way to get to Texas. But to the not-so-happily married New Yorkers on this plane, it was a freedom ride, the fastest route to Juarez and a quickie Mexican divorce. But a section of New York's divorce law, which seems to imply that this kind of divorce may not be recognized after September 1st, has changed things.
I realized that this new law would just imprison me for 2 more years. And it hasn't been worked out, and the legalities haven't been, and I just don't want a mess of red tape. I just want to be divorced and get it over with, and that's all. And so here I am, shipped off my children, and here I am. In fact, 4 of my friends were down this past week. It's quite a mess.
For about $250 and the consent of his spouse, anyone can sever the bonds of marriage in 24 hours or less. Last year, 20,000 people, mostly New Yorkers, did just that. This last week brought a flood of divorce seekers to Juarez. What normally is a 2-minute formality became a day-long ordeal. Scores of New Yorkers jammed the clerk's office in Juarez Municipal Palace. First, there was the register to be signed. Then, with the aid of English language guides, another trip across the veranda to one of 3 civil courts, where, after another long wait in line, the judge signed the divorce papers. In all, more than 4,000 people ran this gauntlet this week alone. To many of the Mexican divorce lawyers, like Senor Gonzalez Vargas, it was a disturbing spectacle.
Why must they be humiliated to come down here and sit in a crowded waiting room and be rushed through in the processing by an attorney? Why must they be herded into a waiting room in a court that's ill-equipped to handle all this vast number of cases and stand hour after hour waiting to have these cases be brought before the judge?
What do you think the answer to all this is?
As a lawyer, I believe in the majesty of the law. I believe in equal justice for all under the law. As an attorney with a deep feeling for my profession, I would like to see New York have a decent, modern divorce law that does not force its people to migrate to have justice done.
The newly unmarrieds reacted to their new freedom in a variety of ways.
There's such mass chaos and confusion. I've never seen anything like it. Women are taking tranquilizers, and people are walking around sweating, and it's unbelievable.
You're divorced now. How does it feel having gone through that?
Fantastic.
What's it like up there, that whole divorce proceeding? Kind of hectic, isn't it?
Well, it's you feel like an animal in a cage, actually, and it's like every other legal procedure. It takes time, and there's a lot of waiting, and some people get impatient. They don't realize that these things do take time, and there's nothing you can do about it. You have to wait.
What made you come down to Juarez now?
Well, this was the simplest way out for me, under the circumstances with the New York laws.
Was it worth all that up there to get a divorce here?
5 hours in contrast to 5 years, yes. Any day.
Eventually, New York courts must decide if the quickie Mexican divorce is legal. On that opinion hangs the prosperity of Juarez, and it would seem the sanctity of a good many New York marriages. Richard Threlkeld, CBS News, Juarez.